If you're in the Pacific Northwest or around the Pacific Northwest and are passionate about shooting sports, TriggrCon is where you want to be. Gavin Gear here from UltimateReloader.com with more content from TriggrCon 2017. While at the event, I got to catch up with Jansen Jones from HMT. HMT is the parent company for some popular brands you'd recognize, like X-Treme bullets, Freedom Munitions, and Big Grains ammunition. Let's hear what Jansen had to say about their products. So I'm here with Jansen from Freedom Munitions. Thank you for taking the time, appreciate it.
No problem, nice to meet you.
Yeah, it was great to shoot some of your product yesterday.
Yeah, you guys were shooting HUSH?
Yeah, we're shooting HUSH 165 grain 9mm subs.
First product I designed came out October of 2014. It's got a unique following because it was designed for suppressed shooting. We use Vitivory powder. It's a very clean burning powder. We use an X-Treme bullet, 9mm 165 grain projectile, heaviest 9mm commercial offering out there, in a case that we make in-house. The goal was to create an affordable subsonic round that would perform, the Hollywood quiet concept.
Right.
And that's hopefully what you saw yesterday.
Oh yeah, definitely. It was very pleasant to shoot as well. No problem staying on target. Lots of fun.
Good deal.
All day fun. Yeah.
Good deal.
So the other thing that I've been working with recently is 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum, which is a ton of fun.
Yeah.
It's hellfire in your hand. I mean,
yeah.
Tell me about Big Grains.
So Big Grains is a concept I came up with last year. I sat around and thinking, look, I love to shoot big bores, but they're painful on the wallet. And you look at all these different cartridges, they've got a niche following. They're all 300 plus grains, and they're all expensive. 458 SOCOM, 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum, 50 AE, 4570. The unique characteristic is they're all pushing that heavy bullet downrange, but they're expensive.
Yeah.
Well, X-Treme Bullets is part of our company, Freedom Munitions, and we went to our engineers and said, look, I want an inexpensive plated 300 plus grain projectile. And that's what we did. We came up with a 350 grain, a 325 grain, and a 300 grain, and we started loading it in the Big Grains line. So the 500 Smith & Wesson offering is a 350 grain round nose flat point. It is affordable. It's about $1.15 a shot. And if you compare that to the other 500 Smith & Wesson offerings out there on the ammunition side, we're 60 to 90 cents per shot lower.
Wow.
So the end result is you're able to go shoot that gun more affordably. You're able to train with that gun or practice. A lot of guys use it for hunting. You can go get more trigger time and still get the same feel, get the same accuracy you're expecting without breaking the bank. So that was my goal with Big Grains. Yeah,
and we shot the 50 AE, the Nintendo Zapper. That was a ton of fun.
Well, if you look at the box, I grew up, with a Nintendo. Super Mario was the first game I ever had, and this box speaks to that a little bit. I remember the giant bullet flying across the screen, and so I was like, it's the same thing when you're putting a 500 Smith & Wesson slug downrange or a 50 AE slug. You're basically sending a giant hunk of lead downrange looking for Mario. So
nice.
That's kind of the concept. That gun was sort of something that got laughed at in the marketing office, and I said, you know what, we're gonna try it. It has gotten more traction than anybody would have imagined.
Oh yeah, you're not gonna forget that.
The other interesting thing, we have this internal bet going on in the office about which particular product within Big Grains is going to sell the most at the end of the year. 500 Smith, 458 SOCOM, or 50 AE. It is literally a dead heat right now.
Oh, wow.
We keep selling out of each one of them, so they kind of stagger, but right now, every one of them is just neck and neck with the other. So by the end of the year, I set my lot with 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum. I think given the number of revolvers out there, that it's going to end up winning the day, but interestingly enough, they're all neck and neck. So
well, I've found, I've shot everything from 700 grain all the way down to 335, and I really like the loaded down lighter bullets in the 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum because it's a great piece of gear. That's a great revolver, and to be able to, enjoy it all day long is a really great thing, and that's where the diversity of ammo really becomes super important.
So when we were developing the Big Grains load for the 500 Smith, I went and got one of the 4-inch Performance Center models. It's a $1,500 handgun. That gun was uncomfortable to shoot with every load we went and developed, with the exception of the Big Grain stuff. If that handgun was almost comfortable to shoot, we knew we had a true load for the line. And so to be able to shoot that gun comfortably, no flinching, the ability to really manage the recoil, we knew we had a winner. And And that was the gun that was used to develop this load for the 500 Smith.
Sounds awesome. I'd like to try it.
It is.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about X-Treme Bullets. What's unique about X-Treme Bullets? Your products, your company.
So X-Treme Bullets is the largest online direct-to-consumer plated bullet manufacturer. We have been really focused on creating a precise diameter projectile, basically a diameter of the projectile that's within the specs that are needed for the reloader that's looking for accuracy, but isn't wanting to spend the same amount of money on a jacketed bullet. So X-Treme's really cut its teeth in that market on the reloading competition side. As we're growing the X-Treme brand, we're looking into other projectiles. So I've got a functional hollow point for self-defense and another functional hollow point for hunting coming out next year.
Wow.
All on a plated bonded concept. So as X-Treme gets into hollow point cavities, stuff like that, it's going to grow beyond the target shooting market. But really, its base is the action shooters, the guys that are reloading for economy, the guys that are reloading because they're just going to the range and shooting a lot of ammo. The bullets are used in a ton of other products out there. We sell projectiles to some of the largest in the industry. Without going into names, I can tell you, if you've been to Walmart and bought ammo, chances are you've probably bought some of our 115 projectiles in 9 or our 45 cal 230s in 45 ACP. We are a large OEM supplier, and X-Treme got some of those contracts because of our consistency. The plating thickness is some of the thickest out there, and that's important when you're shooting a plated bullet, because you don't want the plating to come off in the bore. Thin plating will do that, but X-Treme is very consistent, and that yields the accuracy and what we like to say is the performance delivered downrange.
So if people want to know more about all this ammo?
Sure. So freedommunitions.com is where you can get big grains or hush. Extremebullets.com is where you can get all of our projectiles, including our cases. We make our own pistol cases, and we got new rifle cases coming online at the end of the year.
Awesome. Thanks, Jansen.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate the time.
So if you want to know more about HMT products, stay tuned, because I'm going to be shooting some big grains 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum. I'm going to be shooting some Freedom Munitions HUSH Subsonic 9mm 165 grain ammo and more. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you don't want to miss any of the action here on UltimateReloader.com, including more TriggrCon 2017 content, please subscribe to my channel. Until next time, happy shooting and happy reloading.